Okay, we're really quickly going to talk about testing for ammonia, nitrite, and nitrate in the tank. And the reason I'm talking about all three of these together is because they're all linked together in a saltwater tank. Essentially, ammonia is produced when the fish go to the bathroom or the uneaten food is broken down. Ammonia is produced, but it's typically only present in a brand new saltwater tank. My tank has been set up, it's fairly stable, and the bacteria that live in the sump rapidly will convert ammonia into nitrite. Nitrite is also toxic to fish. Both ammonia and nitrite do the same thing in that they take oxygen out of the water. If you ever see the fish swimming at the very top, it looks like they're breathing extremely rapidly, other than that guy over there because he's always up there. But they'll have their noses pointed up to the surface of the water. They'll be breathing rapidly, trying to get as much oxygen into their body as they can. Typically, either ammonia or nitrite is way too high. But in my tank, I typically don't test for any of these chemicals except for this one because the tank is new. But in case you did have to, in case you did see the fish up at the top, you can test for ammonia first. So there's two solutions for ammonia. You have one bottle here, bottle number 2 here, and your basic card. So you fill it to the 5 milliliter line there, as in all the tests, and you add 8 drops of the ammonia number 1 solution. You can see it says add 8 drops. And then you can follow the directions on the back of the card. You add 8 drops, and then you add 8 drops of the bottle number 2 ammonia. You shake it around, you wait 5 minutes, and then compare it to the front of the card. For my tank, it should always be 0. You shouldn't be able to detect anything. It might look a little into this range, that's fine. It's when you're starting to get into the greens and the blues that you can rapidly kill everything in your tank. Basically anything above 1.0, and your fish are going to start to feel it, and they're going to start to die. I don't anticipate that being an issue for you when I'm gone, though. Second thing you can test for is nitrite. And again, if the fish are up at the top and they're breathing heavily, but the ammonia is 0, this might be high. So this is a pretty easy test, like the pH. You fill a completely different vial, brand new water, to the 5 milliliter line, add 5 drops as per the back of the card, wait 5 minutes, and then check. It should be blue. I don't anticipate any nitrites being very high in the fish tank, but again, if you do see the fish acting kind of funny and acting like they're breathing hard, you can test for that. The only way to reduce ammonia and nitrite from a tank is to either let the biological process carry out, which in an established tank can be deadly. Your fish will be dead before that happens because it takes weeks for that to happen. Otherwise, you have to do water changes. A 50% water change, 50% water change is typically the way you lower these two so you're not killing your fish. I don't anticipate you having to do a 50% water change all in one day because that's a pain in the ass. Your tank should be fairly stable, but just in case, that's how you do it. The last solution we test for is nitrate. This is the end of the nitrogen cycle. So ammonia is produced when the fish go to the bathroom. It is then converted by the bacteria to nitrite, and the nitrite is quickly converted by different bacteria into nitrate. When you do a water change in your normal weekly water change, this is what you're lowering. Throughout the days, the nitrate level will start to rise, and I don't usually like it to go anywhere near 10. If you're in the super reds and pinks, then your tank is heavily polluted and you probably have a lot of algae issues. So the purpose of doing a weekly water change is to take these nitrates out, put in fresh water, and also replenish some of the basic elements and nutrients that are absorbed by the corals and the fish throughout their growing process. But essentially, nitrate also is a pretty easy way. Back of the card shows you how to test for it. You add 10 drops to the vial with 5 milliliters of water in it, and you mix it up. And you shake the number 2 bottle for 30 seconds, add 10 drops to the vial, and then shake it for a minute. And you wait 5 minutes and then compare it to the card. Usually normal range is between 0 and 5 for me. I don't anticipate you having to test for that. But if you're getting a lot of algae buildup in the tank, you want to know why, you can check against this card. If it's 10 or above, you're going to start to get a lot of algae in the tank, and you'll need to do water changes more regularly. This nitrate doesn't really hurt the fish, except in extremely high concentrations. It just leads to an unsightly tank.